Andrew, how can I improve? I believe you meant to say improve myself in math. What can I do to tackle AP Calc AB? You know, one thing just to kind of give you a little advice for AP Calc or just improving in math in general. I think there's something that comes into that rote memory. And you're at the level that yes, I am fully into discovery and practicing like curiosity with mathematics. There's also an element of drilling and refining yourself on some of those basic tasks. And when you get to AP Calc, there are things that we expect you know how to do. It was funny because I was talking to another parent about, my daughter's learning like the multiplication times tables. And yeah, there's all these cool little ways to like remember them and do them. And yes, I want her to understand how those kind of work, but I don't want her to rely on those. Right. I'm like, you are going to know your multiplication tables because I even taught calculus and pre-calculus and I'd ask students like, hey, 9 times 8 as I'm teaching. And like, there'd be students that didn't know it off the top of their head. And I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, like, the tough thing about AP Calculus is we are expecting you to be able to do certain things very, very well. And it's usually that basic arithmetic and algebra we learn. So I would just make sure like those, factoring a lot of the stuff that we learn in algebra 2 and the trig and pre-calculus, make sure you refine that. Make sure you practice that because it's going to need to become second nature for you into Calc AB. Okay. Away from that, let's go and get into evaluating 5x squared minus 10x. What is the value of x? What is the value when the value of x is 2 minus a square root of 5 divided by 2? Well, we know, ladies and gentlemen, if I wanted to find the value when f is, or when x is equal to 2, let's just do this. When x equals 2, then all we're simply going to do is 5, replace our x with 2, right? So there would be 4, so that'd be a 20 minus 2, and that would equal a 0. Okay? So now we just have an expression, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just going to do the exact same. So if I say when 2 minus the square root of 5 divided by 2, let's go ahead and work this one out. I don't know why that overlays there. There we go. Okay. So we're going to have a 5 times a 2 minus a square root of 5 divided by 2 minus a 10 times a 2 minus a square root of 5 divided by 2. Okay. So here's nice. This is nice because I can divide this 2 into the 10, and that's going to give me a 5. That will help a little bit easier when I apply my distributive property. Over here, I can't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply this 5. Oh, shoot, that's a squared. Forgot to write that out. Maybe somebody mentioned it. Maybe they didn't, but that's squared. So ladies and gentlemen, before I even get to distributing this, I got to square this puppy. All right, so remember 2 minus square root of 5 squared is simply going to be 2 minus the square root of 5 times a 2 minus the square root of 5. Now, obviously, I have my denominator 2, right? But 2 times 2 is going to be 4, so that's rather easy. Over here, let's go ahead and just do a little FOIL just to kind of make sure we're not going to make any mistakes, all right? So I'll work it out. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times a negative square root of 5 is going to be a negative 2 square root of 5. Negative square root of 5 times 2 is a negative 2 square root of 5. And then a negative times a negative is a positive. Square root of 5 times square root of 5 is the square root of 25, which is going to be a 5. So it's going to be plus a 5. All right, those are both constants, so I can combine those to give me 9. And these are like terms. So I have a square root of 5 and a square root of 5, and I have negative 2 times them. So adding them is going to give me a negative 4. But I'm going to write my constant first, so that's going to be 9 minus a 4 square root of 5. Now, that's kind of like a little sidebar. So if I was working on a separate sheet of paper, I'd probably do this on a separate sheet of paper, right? And so that was going to be my numerator, and then I know my denominator here. So let's go and rewrite everything back out. So I still have the 5, right? And in parentheses, I'm going to write this product, which is a 9 minus a 4 square root of 5 divided by 4. And that's going to be minus, let's distribute this to be a 10 minus a 5 square root of 5. Okay. Let's go ahead and distribute the 5 up top. I don't see anything else that's going to make that easier. So therefore, that's a 45 minus a 20. And this is going to be square root of 5 divided by 4 minus a 10 minus a 5 square root of 5. Okay. I need to divide this 4 into both of these terms. Now, 4 does not evenly divide into 45, so this question is not going to be very nice numbers, but I'm just going to break this up. 4 divides into 20, though, 5 times, right? So that's a minus a 5 square root of 5 minus 10 minus a 5 square root of 5. Okay, so negative 5 minus negative 5. So if you owe me $5, you borrow $5 more, you're going to owe me $10. And then let's go ahead and simplify. I can't really simplify that any further, right? 4 does not go into there, and that's it. So that's going to be from there. So let's go and do this again. Let's create another sidebar here. So if I have 45 over 4 and I want to subtract that from 10, what I can do here is I can put this over 1, multiply by 4 on the numerator and the denominator, and then that's going to give me here a 45 over 4 minus a 40 over 4. And you can see that is going to be a 5/4. Okay, so if I'm combining these two, plus 5, 5 at the end. Where's the plus 5, plus 5? Did I not distribute? Oh, that's a negative 10. Thank you. Right? Be careful. I distributed that, and then I didn't see that negative over there. Araf, you're like amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, a constant mistake students will make, and I actually made a video on constant mistakes, and it was about negatives, right? And you see what I did here, the mistake I'd made was I reduced that, but I forgot to kind of make sure I'm showing that's still a negative 5, right? So we got to be very careful with that. That is a negative 5. So I multiply the negative 5 times 2, which gives me negative 10, but a negative 5 times there is going to be a positive. Positive. Boom. So now those are actually going to go to 0. So then here I still have that. So these two combine to give me 0. And that's what happens a lot of times. You'll do it on your test because you're not thinking, you're worried about your test. And then I'll make that mistake because I'm constantly doing the math in my head as I'm talking, and I'll make those mistakes. I missed it all the time. So thank you so much. It was always like helpful when I had students teaching in the classroom. They'd be like, Mr. McLogan, you forgot that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. And so it's always helpful when at least doing a live stream, you guys can point it out, because on a video, it sucks. Then I got to like re-edit it or remake the video. It's annoying. All right. So there we figured this out, another sidebar to be 5/4. So my final answer I'm getting is going to be a 5/4.